let's get stuck in to Caol Ila. Yes, that's right. Today on Uncut and Unfiltered, we are looking at one of Isla's biggest gems from the Diageo umbrella. This is Caol Ila. And today, going through Caol Ila with me, as always, the Dram Pirate. How are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. Yeah. I'm excited, actually.
Yeah?
I am. Yeah.
Pretty good.
I like Caol Ila.
It's been a long time coming, to be honest with you, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's well overdue, Caol Ila.
Yeah, well overdue. Hopefully you've patiently waited and you are happy we've got it going now. Joined also here today by Ryan. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm very well. I'm with Stevie here. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Caol Ila is way up there for me. So yeah, this is going to be a
this has been a day of serious Caol Ila for you.
I know.
Not only are we trying all these wonderful Caol Ilas now, but you've actually bottled your very own cask of Caol Ila with us at the Whiskey Baron. Something that we have got here again, guys. You know, we mentioned time to time. We do get a little expression, whether it's something we've just freshly bottled that's not for sale yet, or whether it's just something that we're really proud of. We're not trying to promote the Whiskey Baron. We're just simply talking about the spirit. And, Caol Ila is one of those spirits that, as an independent bottler, you feel very, very privileged, I think, to get your hands on it, right? So it's always nice to see that. Let's start.
Are you excited, mate?
I'm beyond fucking excited. Let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start with the Moch. Now, the Moch, my understanding, and I might be wrong, I hope I'm not, but my understanding is that Moch is Gaelic for morning. And boys...
The dog's not Ryan and I.
Yeah, sorry. No, Ryan and Stevie are getting out of control waiting for me to pour this Caol Ila. No, sorry. I have a Doberman and a Whippet acting like absolute fools off
keeping
camera.
the show entertained off screen.
So, sorry, yes, back to the Moch. The Moch, which I believe, yes, translates to morning and is reminiscent of the morning light from that surrounds the distillery. In all honesty, I don't care about the spiel of the marketing. What I love about this is I call this a breakfast whiskey. This is something that you can get your day going with. I appreciate if you're at home thinking, why is Jake having breakfast whiskey? Not every day, guys. I'm not suggesting you should start every day with a dram. That's not healthy.
It's 7:30 a.m. right now.
You should always enjoy drinks in moderation. However, the morning is the time where you've got your freshest palate. You're going to be able to get the most out of a whiskey. If I'm ever doing serious tastings or I'm trying to assess what we're going to do with cask stock that we hold, I will always do those tastings in the morning. And this, to me, is, if you're on a stag do or a women's weekend away and maybe you've got some plans this afternoon or whatever it is, you've got a special day ahead and you think, an early morning little drink of something special, but I don't fancy champagne or Bucks Fizz or any of that. Caol Ila Moch is the way to go.
On your Weetabix.
On your Weetabix, why not? And it's funny you say that. I don't want to say too much. This is porridge whiskey.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay. I'm even more intrigued now before you
just try breakfast whiskey, porridge whiskey. Those are the two things I'm going to say. Let's get stuck in to the Caol Ila Moch. This is an OB. It's bottled at 43% for anyone who's wondering. And it is kind of the entry-level dram for Caol Ila. Although I have to say, normally it is actually a bit more expensive than the 12. So entry-level or not, I'm not sure. Let us know your thoughts.
And what we at? 43%, yeah.
43.
Yep. That's the standard for their whiskies, isn't it? I think. Or at least their core range.
I think a lot of the Diageo stocks are bottled, either 40, 43. I don't think many of them make them up to 46. This is the Distillers edition, which, to be honest, I know nothing about. Okay, 43 still. I know nothing about the Distillers edition. This is the 2022 edition. You guys are going to probably have to drop some stuff in the comments to help us out when we finally get to this one. But let's rewind a little bit. Let's get back to this Moch. You had a little sup on that?
I have. It's an old friend.
It's an old friend. I like it.
Yeah, I've had this a couple of times, and for what it is, it's great. You know? It's got that lovely, kind of gentle smoke for me in Caol Ila.
Yeah,
it's not harsh. It's not in your face, especially in the Moch.
Yeah.
Fruits, and a little bit of, Caol Ila salt. It's all.
Oh, I think it's brimming with Caol Ila salt.
You think it's loads in there? Yeah?
Love it. It's that fresh, crisp Celtic sea salt. It's full of minerals. It's wonderful. It's quite long lasting. And I also get this kind of almost kind of kippery vibe.
I was going to say, I've got like a bit of like
A fish.
Charlene almost. Like,
Yeah. There's fish in there.
There's just a wisp of fishiness at the back end.
It feels like being at a
fine,
seaside almost. You know,
Yeah.
you've got your fish, your sea salt air,
Cockles and-
cockles, all
And
that
mussels,
kind of vibe.
alive. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
with
absolutely.
the nice hint of smoke, like you say, it's not overpowering like you'd
It's
probably
like having
expect
some
a little
cockles
bit.
and
Yeah,
smoking a Marlboro Light.
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And is that what you meant by breakfast dram?
Not far off. Yeah. That's
Yeah, I always have kippers with Celtic sea salt and a Marlboro Light for breakfast.
Cheers.
That's how I start my
If you want
day.
more breakfast tips from the
Breakfast
Whiskey
of
Barrett.
champions. No, definitely fucking not. But yeah, there is that slight kipperiness to me. It's like fishiness. The smoke is beautifully balanced.
Yeah.
I would say on the Moch. On
I
all
agree.
Caol
I'd
Ilas,
agree.
in fairness, it always seems to be very well balanced. You know, you look at the likes of Bamor, which is more of a wisp. You know, I always talk about the angels placing the smoke in Bamor so delicately. And then you look at the likes of Ardbeg or Lafroig, you know, these other Islay distilleries
Yeah.
that are just big, bolshy, beasts.
Big kickers.
Yeah, exactly. They are big kickers, right? The Caol Ila, to me, kind of sits really wonderfully in the middle. It's that damp bonfire ember.
Yeah.
It's that kind of slight sootiness sometimes, not always, but charcoal, you know, damp embers. It really does. It's a distillery, a distillate that takes me back to the distillery, I should say. It is it's very of its set and setting. Kind of I don't know if you've been to Islay, you've been to
Yes,
Caol Ila?
yeah.
Sorry, of course you have, but
Yes.
it's the first fucking distillery that you've been to.
Cheers, mate. Yes, yeah.
It's been a long day. Excuse me, Ryan.
That's
We've
been a
talked
long
about
day.
that so many times through the journey of bottling your own Caol Ila. That's embarrassing.
No,
Apologies.
don't worry.
Forgive me.
Rewind it.
But no, exactly. You've
Yes,
been to Caol Ila,
yeah.
is what I meant to say. You have been to Caol Ila. It brings me to the beach.
Yeah.
Right outside
You're
the
completely
distillery.
right.
Do you know what I mean?
You're completely right.
I've never had a bonfire on that beach, but I can
but if you
imagine
did,
it in my mind's eye.
This would be what it tastes like.
Correct.
You know, you're completely right.
Correct.
The last embers of a bonfire, almost like in that setting, you're completely there. I think that's what I love about it. You know, it does take you back like that.
Yeah, I've been there once before. Again, I regret not picking anything up. Do they do hand fills there? I don't think I remember seeing hand fills.
They didn't
I
at the
didn't
time
see
that
one
we
when
were
I
there.
know.
No. Maybe
But they had some cool stuff there. They had a 35-year-old at the time for like 300 quid.
Oh,
And I remember you going, oh my God. And I was kind of contemplating it. I didn't buy it in the end, but I was like, it's quite good value for money though. And you're like, mate, that's that's insane. Like
See, I was there with the 12-year.
Yeah, I wonder what that
Yeah.
goes for now.
Oh, I don't even want to know. Yeah, don't want to know. More than 300 quid, I'd say.
I'd
funnily
imagine.
enough. Yeah. But
Blimey.
yeah, what I love
They
about
do a great
Caol Ila-
tour though.
They do,
And it's a great distillery as well.
Yeah.
And if I'm right in thinking, it's been revamped, like the stills and everything are all new.
They've
from
completely done it up. Yeah, they shut it for a little bit, did they, while they were revamping?
Well, not just sorry for the revamp, but I think there's something to do with the stills. They're brand new stills from the 70s or 80s or something like that. They've rebuilt the stills, I'm pretty sure.
So they're not brand new then?
No, sorry. Not. I don't think they I don't think they. Sorry. Reconditioned this.
You're not saying they're brand new now?
Not right this second, no. But I think, obviously, Caol Ila's been around, what,
Yeah.
a couple hundred years?
Right,
And
yeah,
up to the 70s, I think.
Sorry, I thought you were
they
saying
flattened
recently, as in
everything.
like within the last 3-4 years.
No.
Sorry.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Which was quite surprising to me when I learned of that, because you'd think, well, what do they do that for? But yeah, they flattened everything.
Yeah,
built a whole
yeah.
new distillery, new stills,
Yeah.
the lot.
I mean, they're around
So-
for over 150 years at this point. I don't know exactly. They were 1800s at some point as
So
well.
I think we even went when they had like the temporary, I'm not going to call it distillery, but like the gift shop and stuff that was built away while they were revamping a couple of years back as well.
Oh, is it?
I see.
fair enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't been. Yes, went before that. So
Yeah.
not something I dive into often.
Well, unfortunately, the pricing of the core range took a big jump there a few years back. And actually, I managed to get this bottle of Moch on sale there. And I think I only paid 50 or so pounds, which I was very happy with.
Yeah.
Normally, it does go for kind of 65 570, I want to say.
That is a real jump, yeah.
Which is, for a non-aged, not that age is everything. This is a beautiful whiskey without an age on it, so not trying to take anything away from it. But for kind of what most people would view as an entry-level whiskey, a non-age statement whiskey, you're playing in a ballpark with a lot of cheaper goods.
Absolutely,
more accessible from a price point of view. So for me, unfortunately, as much as I love Caol Ila, I have kind of stepped away from the core range as something, like you say, that I'd have on the shelves all the time. With that being said, however, it's really great to have all of these bottles now for this episode, and I've actually been really excited. I think we've both been quite excited about getting this one on the cards. Something that a lot of you guys at home have asked for. So if something that you've asked for, thank you for sticking with us.
I mean, one thing I do see is a lot of, and I know the reason, and obviously you do, is IB Caol Ilas.
Yeah.
Loads.
Yeah.
Massive
I guess
market.
That's
It's kind of like a rite of passage almost.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
You're probably right. A lot of people, I think, from what I've seen, start with like the Caol Ilas a little bit and then broaden it out. There are a lot of independent bottlers on it. You are right.
Caol Ila is the sort of thing that, as an independent bottler, you don't really have to worry too much because it generally sells.
Oh, okay.
Peated spirits, for starters, right? It's not a massive market. If you look at comparatively how many litres are made throughout Scotland and how much of that liquid is peated, it's quite a small amount. And then when you look at the likes of Caol Ila, which, as I was just saying there at the beginning, it's definitely one of the more accessible peated spirits, certainly from Islay. If you look at Islay as a whole, you've kind of got Bunnahabhain, Bamore, and Caol Ila as kind of...
This is where I should be jumping in going, Boona.
Yeah. You're seeing an E&C, that's exactly what we need.
I mean, all of them really are big and,
Yeah.
But they're big, bolshy. Do you know what I mean? It's a different level of peat. It's So from an approachability point of view...
Yeah, because they're quite harsh spirits, I think, a little bit when you bring that...
And some people will try Lafroig off the
in.
bat. I think it was your mum who tried Lafroig off the bat and was like, oh my God, this reminds me of medicine from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's a rare... response. Most people try a Lafroig or an Arbeck and go, oh my God, this tastes like hospital floors.
Peter, shout out Peter.
Yeah.
He had a Lafroig, I think, one of his first whiskies, and he's like,
really?
This is it.
Peter
Stoughton,
Stanton.
Stanton, yes.
Yeah. Oh, fair. Did he?
Yeah.
I was wondering which Peter
I
was
know, I
talking
thought you were.
about.
That's why
I was like, who the fuck are you talking about here, mate? Peter who?
Yeah, Peter.
Where's Peter?
Oh God, not again.
He's in the corner.
Yeah, with your nan.
Shout out Peter.
Shout out Stevie's nan. Oh, Christ.
God, can it off.
Right, there we go. But yeah, no, I think that it is just that little bit more accessible. And from a flavour point of view, I think that's really important. But yeah, as a result, as an independent bottler, it means that you can bottle something and kind of know with a level of confidence, providing you're not pricing it stupidly, that it will all sell quite easily. It's a brand that people know. It's a brand that people recognize. I mean, shit, it's a core component of Johnny Walker. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A brand that is probably one of the biggest global whiskey brands out there, and this is one of the things that makes Johnny Walker tick. This is one of the peated.
I think it's like one
components.
of the biggest components of Johnny Walker as well.
I don't want to say that.
Yeah,
but
I'd heard that.
probably up
it is.
there.
Yeah.
It's
a huge portion of it.
Yeah, it is a big component for sure. I don't know if it would be a main component. There are a lot of distilleries that go into it.
Of course.
It's probably one of the, certainly from a peated component. Yes. Unfortunately, as independent bottlers, we currently cannot buy Caol Ila direct from source. So we are kind of in a position where we have to make do with what's left in the market currently. So obviously, we bottled a 12-year-old today. There's lots of other bits and pieces out in the market. Hopefully we'll be able to get allocations moving forward from Diageo. Unfortunately, at the minute, we can't, simply from the factor of their OB, Caol Ila from the original bottling from the distillery, is in such high demand.
Yeah.
That and the fact that, as I've just stated, they need the allocations to go towards their increasingly successful blends like Johnny Walker. So when the likes of Diageo own brands that are so successful that they have to pull stock back from the open market, it really gives an idea as to how Diageo is the biggest owner of Scotch whisky distilleries. So if they're going, oh, we don't have enough of that, it's like, oh shit, this is in high demand. This is a serious brand right here.
Yeah.
So I think it's really, really cool. Hopefully, like I say, we'll be able to buy some liquid back from Diageo again at some point in the future. But for the time being, it is one of those things that's been withdrawn. It's hard to get your hands on. There's a lot of excitement around it. And so going back to IBs, being able to bottle something like that, particularly in the current market, is very, very exciting. But yeah, what I love about this mark for me is it's gentle, it's soft, it's elegant. It kind of hits a little bit of everything. You've got the smoke, you've got the salinity. Like you say, you've also got the balance of that fruitiness on the forefront.
Yep.
But then it kind of does go into that kind of slightly odd, kippery, fishy note.
Yeah.
Which I don't get with all Caol Ila, but I really like. I'd say probably
think
9
it's
times
a nice
out of 10,
addition.
I really like that addition to the dram. Exactly. Makes it a bit more diverse.
Doesn't ruin it for me. It's just something.
It's a whole different dynamic.
Something different from it, yeah, which makes it exciting. I think
Yeah, definitely. So
It's
for
nice.
me, the Moch is like a really cool place to start. It's if
And
you
is
don't
it-
know Caol Ila, I think
Great start.
Moch is where to go.
And it is their starting point, is it?
That's what I was saying at the beginning. Sorry, I don't know. I would say yes, but I would probably say yes from the point of view of it's a non-age statement, and then it's a 12.
yeah.
Age isn't everything, and
No.
as I've said already, I think price-wise, this is generally speaking more, or it has been more expensive than the 12. So
Right, okay.
arguably, the 12 is the entry-level point.
From a price point, yeah.
And so this is it.
Yeah.
How do you determine what is an entry
good
level?
debate
Is it
between
because of
how
price?
you
Is it
go,
because
yeah.
of age? Is it because of
Yep.
flavour? Who's to fucking say? Drop it in the comments if you've got a particular feeling one way or another. But yeah, I would say that this is the entry level point, and I would say that because it's non-age statement and the flavour. You know, two
Again,
of those
like our last
components.
episode, great entry point to the brand. You know, like can't
Yeah.
really fault that for what it is.
Which, like you say,
Does
if you're
what it
trying
says
to
on the
get
tin.
into Caol Ila as a brand new, whiskey drinker or someone that
Yeah,
wants to
yeah,
jump
yeah.
onto that peated side, I think some people can be quite scared of peat, like what it can do compared to a non-peated. And I think this opens that up really nicely.
Yep. Do we know where the peat comes from? Is it?
I'm pretty sure that they get it from. I don't know if they're still going to be able to get it from Port Ellen Maltings, actually.
Oh, of course. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
It has come from Port Ellen Maltings, but that's a really
Previously.
good question. I don't know if they're still going to be able to get their allocation there. I would assume so, but you've got to bear in mind then that it's Caol Ila and Lagavulin as well as now Port Ellen.
Right.
Yeah.
Good question.
demand there.
And sorry, did you actually mean where the peat is cut from?
Yes.
Yeah, really good question as well. I don't know.
All right. Well, someone will tell us.
I
Someone.
think it's actually the mainland,
Right. Yeah.
but I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brains. I actually don't know. Sorry, mate. Let me pour you the 12. What I was in the process of doing is just dual wielding. Ian's not
Thank
here.
you.
We'll get away with it. Dual wielding and trying these two entry level drams side by side, so that maybe we can decide for ourselves what the entry level should be.
Yeah.
This is the 12-year-old again at 43%. Just an age statement on it. There's not much difference here. Colours are fairly similar. A little bit darker on the 12, but not much.
A lot less smoke.
That's
the nose.
very, very fresh.
Yeah. So on the nose, it's super elegant and actually a little bit floral, right?
Yeah.
Well, for me anyway. Sorry.
But on the palate, actually,
The smoke comes out on the palate.
smoke's there a lot.
Yeah.
Still.
It's a lot fresher on the nose. It's a lot. You don't get any smoke really on the nose on that.
Well, I didn't. I don't know if it's because
No.
it's a cold. Come out from the cold, but yeah.
I
Even
also
go back
think
in.
that the it's more of a tannic peat for me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we're talking about bonfire embers with the Moch. It's kind of like chewing on some sort of burnt wood
yeah.
for
okay.
me a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus the embers and the smoke, this is actually kind of more like a chunk of burnt wood that you're... Which sounds really bad, guys. I'm sorry if that sounds horrible. I'm really enjoying it. It's lovely. But the way that that peat comes across is quite different.
Mac agrees.
Yeah, so this is the thing. For me, the 12 is much more one-dimensional. And I think that's why I like the Moch.
Yeah.
Because the 12 has, like I say, that tannic peat. Still a bit of a plume of smoke there, but ultimately for me, it's more of that tannic wood, charred wood. But you've got that. You've got a little bit of fruitiness on the front end. The salinity here for me is very muted on the palate. Very, very much muted. You don't really get the fruits. Well, I certainly don't get the fruits that I get from the Moch.
No.
And the nose is like you. I think the nose on this one is quite interesting. The Moch is more of a journey. It translates from nose to palate quite easily. This one, I feel like there is a disconnect. A little bit. And again, with that, I think that the Moch sits really, really well at 43%. I personally think that there's been a little bit washed away here, which is why it doesn't excite me as much. I would always go to the Moch. I'm like beyond excited about the Moch as a dram. The 12 for me, I think it would be a shame if people started here and not here.
I agree.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I can delve into the Moch a lot more than I can with the 12.
There's so much more there.
Yeah, for me, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the 12, I don't know, as you say, it's a little bit one-dimensional.
Yeah, it's singular. It is.
Yeah. And you're right, if you brought that strength a little bit in the 12, I feel like maybe we'd have more there.
Yeah.
But keeping it lower, I feel like anything you could have found maybe is just
been washed away
gone.
a bit. Yeah. No, and that's the other thing is you're left with quite a nice sort of mouth coating smoke.
Yeah.
But save that, it's not a long finish. It's just like a mouthful of smoke.
No, I mean it's gone.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. You drink it, and it's gone.
Couple
and
of
then there's a
seconds,
bit of smoke in the mouth. But it's not. I wouldn't say that's a finish. It's just like the remnants of drinking a peated spirit, right? Whereas with the Moch, I feel like I say, you go on that journey of the palate, but then it does hang around a bit more, Yeah, I don't know. It's a shame because I think, the amount of 12-year-old Caol Ilas that I try from an indie point of view, and you just go, oh, this slaps and that slaps and oh my God, and it works with that. You can literally, I challenge any independent bottler out there to re-rack a Caol Ila into something and ruin it. It can't be done. Maybe some Caol Ilas are better than others, but I have seldom tried a Caol Ila from an independent bottler that I've gone, that's not nice. That's actually unpleasant. I don't think it can be done. Everyone puts their own little renditions on it. Where it's not nice, come on, let's be honest now. Some of them maybe don't hit the mark as much, Okay,
so
it's fine. It's not, but it's not
some
something
of
to
them
be
could just
excited
be a Caol Ila 12. Right, I know what you're saying. Yeah, no, there's nothing ever wrong with it, but it's like, okay, that's Caol Ila 12. Whereas most is.
Oh, what do you mean from indies that don't do anything to the Agio stock and just take it?
Yes.
And try and tell a story, but they don't really do anything with the story. It's just some nice sort of drawings on a box, but then it's ultimately just.
And then they waste a load of money duty free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair play.
Yeah. No, but on a serious note. It is just like, oh, it's Caol Ila 12, whereas other times, as you say, it's a very resilient spirit, so you can do all sorts of things to it and really have a good outcome.
Yeah.
Like
Anyway,
you've done.
Yeah.
a nice little fable to tell, but there we go. I think that, I think that it's hard to fuck up. And I like that people try and put their own little spins on things. I think that Caol Ila works well. As you know, I love peat and wine. So I think it works very well in wine cask. But equally, what most people tend to do is put Caol Ila in sherry. And my God, if there was a match made in heaven, I think it's Caol Ila and sherry. Doesn't matter whether you're at the super sticky, sweet end of Pedro Jimenez, the dry, nutty end of Oloroso, or anything in the middle. I always think it slaps. And yeah, that's for me where a Caol Ila can become really exciting at this young age.
Yeah.
So, 12, it's grand. There's nothing wrong with this, guys. It's a good whiskey. It's a very good whiskey. And if I was in a bar and there was a bunch of 12-year-olds on the bar, the 12-year-olds that we always see, the Glenfiddich, the Dalmore, the, bourbon and so on, I'd probably go for the Caol Ila because it's normally the best.
How much is it? What's the price point of that?
Per bottle?
Yes.
That's a really good question.
Because that's going to determine, if I reach for that 12,
I want to say that I bought these from Master of Malt recently and they were on offer.
Yeah.
So you are looking at £50, £49.95
Oh, wow, okay.
as a
Really?
as an RRP for the Caol Ila 12.
Where's that from?
£49.95. The Whiskey Exchange, £55 currently.
Okay.
Master of Malt.
I thought it was well up there.
Caol Ila 12 in Tesco's, £43.
Oh, that is
Never
quite
see it on the
accessible then,
shelves.
yeah?
Caol Ila 12 from the Spirits Embassy, £37.50.
Plus
Prices have come down.
£20 shipping.
Prices have come down. Prices have definitely come down.
No, they have. The 12 was well up there. I'm sure it was like, I don't know, I want to say 60, 70. It was
So
like
the Caol Ila 12,
remember it being that high,
give or
no,
take
but-
50 quid. And the Moch is... Yeah, so I picked these up for 40 quid, the Mochs, from Master of Malt. But Caol Ila Moch,
See, I'd pay that for
Whiskey
the Moch. That's a
Exchange,
good price.
£62.50. That's where
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing it. I'm used to seeing it at 62, £65. But again, they must have come down recently. Spirits Embassy, £45.84. Amazon, $39.95. I thought I got a flash deal at Master of Malt, and I was beyond excited. I was like, 40 quid. Oh, Jesus Christ, we can do the Caol Ila episode. Oh, bye. You know? But obviously pricing has come down a little bit, which is interesting. If anyone's been monitoring prices of Caol Ila, please do drop it in the comments. Let us know if we've been, if we've missed something here, basically.
The smoke on the 12 is there's a lot more there than the Moch, which is
What, in
weird.
terms of the smoke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is strange because I imagine the Moch must between 5 and 7 years old, maybe.
Yeah, but you're getting a balance of other flavours in the Moch, so I don't think that the smoke is less. I think
So,
that the
okay, so
smoke
why is that
just
happening?
balanced out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you would probably see it, the peat more, pushing through more at that sort of
Right,
age.
so but then you
right?
could argue that maybe that fishy note is a sulfur compound. Right?
Oh, I think
It's
so.
Right,
I
and
definitely think so.
So that's why that's prominent perhaps at a younger age, assuming
yeah.
that the Moch is
But what I'm
younger
saying
than
is,
12.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
expect
yeah.
more fruit to come through in the 12 because the smoke dissipating more
Right.
as it's obviously
Yeah,
getting
that's
older.
a fair... Oh, yeah. Can't
But the
explain that.
fruit here is
Yeah.
better.
What, on the
Moch, yeah.
On the Moch, yeah.
Yeah.
And the smoke is great as well.
The smoke is more balanced on the
It's-
Moch, I think, is the difference versus, like I say, you're kind of chewing on like burnt
On the
wood
12.
on the 12.
Which is weird because
Yeah.
you'd think the smoke would be less
But it's
and
just
the fruit
different.
would be more.
It's not that it's less or it's just different. I think the smoke is different. I think it feels more prominent because it's different and there's less that it's competing with. I think the Moch is still a very prominent smoke. It's just balanced by the salinity, by the fruitiness,
That's what I'd say, yeah.
by the
At
by
a
the
younger
fishiness.
age.
At a and whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just balanced by these other components that are going on in the glass. But you're
Yeah,
right.
but they're finished. They're the same spirit. They're the same. They're probably both in bourbon.
I would imagine so. I'd be surprised if any sherry goes into these two expressions. Yeah, I'd say that they're refill bourbon barrels, refill hogsheads.
Exactly. So it's just fascinating, really.
Yeah, no, it is.
Considering, you'd think the 12 would have a bit more to it than the Moch. But
that's why I've always been like a fiend for the Moch. I've always gone crazy, and I just, I think the Moch is the way to go. It's a fantastic.
Yeah.
yeah, you have always.
I think you're right. You wouldn't expect it to be... I wouldn't have expected it to be that way around, really.
No.
But the
I
Moch
would
brings
have
in
thought-
so much more than the age statement of
On
the
a-
12.
Whatever age this is obviously under 12.
Yeah.
To be
I'm
more
gonna guess
powerful
that that's
than
probably
this.
around 5 years old.
yeah.
Probably.
So the average age of liquid in bottle from Diageo, I believe, is 8 years old. Now that's Diageo, as in
As a
all
whole.
of the single malts that they own,
Yeah.
all
Okay,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
blends that they own, I believe the average age of liquid in bottle is 8. So if you then take into account that Caol Ila have their age statements that go up to the 35 and the whatever, stop it. The Moch, from the flavour, and I would say it's 5 or 6 years old probably.
No,
and I think
definitely.
it works so well at that age. Comparatively, you look at things like the Wee Beastie from Ardbeg at 5.
Or the Mickle
Yeah.
Tour at 5.
Or the Mickle. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Love it. Yes, exactly. Young spirits, peated spirits that work really well when all of those sulfur notes are just shining right the way through.
Yeah, which is what you'd want.
Correct. That's why we make peated spirits. Like, don't get me wrong. It's cool to watch as it ages in 12, 18, 21, 50, let's see how far we can get it. It'll change. It'll be interesting. But at the same time, I think that, if you really want to get the most out of your peat,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 is where you want to be,
Oh,
right?
100%, yeah.
But yeah, the Moch. There we go.
The Moch.
The Moch. Well, what have you got there, mate? You got a little book. You got to read us a passage.
I have, mate. Thanks for showing me off. Yeah, The Passion of Whiskey, right?
Written by you.
Little gift. Yeah, written by me. Links in the description. No, it's about a guy called Ian. Funny enough, spent some time in Ireland and he writes about all the stories. Sorry, leave me to it. Thanks, mate. Just wanted to read a little about.
Just leave you to your book whilst you just read whilst we're in the middle of a podcast. There.
We'll continue.
I just wanted to see if there was any nice little tidbits for.
What that you
about
pretend
the
that you're little tidbits there?
I'm just saying.
All right.
We'll catch up with Stevie in 20 minutes when he's read all about Caol Ila.
I feel like we're on an episode of Blue Peter. Like, here's what we made earlier. Anyway, right, okay. Well, we've done the Moch, we've done the 12. What I think we should come on to next is the next sort of OB from the distillery. This is the Distillers edition, and to be quite frankly honest, I'm embarrassed to say I know nothing about the Distillers edition as a kind of an expression. This is the 2022 Distillers edition. Yeah, I don't really know. Do you know much about these?
Do you know what? No, I was going to say I'm in the exact same boat. The only
Embarrassing.
anyone I really have a lot on is probably Lagavulin. But no, in terms of the Caol Ila distillers, I've not really dived in.
That's no use, mate. We're on the
I know.
Caol Ila episode.
This doesn't really help anything at the minute.
So it says this golden edition of Caol Ila is brilliant, crisp and refined. The deep, sweet and smoky flavour profile reflects the intense, saturated colours of later afternoon sunshine after a storm has passed. Caol Ila Distillery, Portsgate, Isla. So this is the thing. All of their expressions have to do with the light around the distillery. Like I say, Moch is the morning one and it kind of brings you through the day. This Distillers edition is to do with the light coming through after a storm. So
Fantastic.
should be interesting. Again, 43%.
43 again.
And I don't know what the crack is with these. Do they do one every year? I haven't seen a 2024 Distillers edition. I don't know. Is there one? Let us know if you know. The fact that this is still hanging around 2 years later doesn't fill me with confidence. It wasn't an expensive dram.
No.
Although, again, it could be that Caol Ila has decided to kind of reprice a little bit recently, as we think, and maybe that's just become a bit more accessible accordingly. How are your tidbits coming there, lad?
Any quotes?
No, yeah, I was just checking a few things. Yeah, it was demolished in the 70s, completely demolished, including the floor maltings.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Everything rebuilt, like
And what
from
year was
scratch.
that?
I think it was 72. Yeah,
Oh, not long then.
72.
Yeah.
Well, this is it, right? And these are like, I doubt it because it would be over 50 years old. But what does the old Caol Ila taste like? Pre 72, right?
Well, yeah.
Because it would be completely different.
Yeah.
You know.
Did they model the stills or the
Uh,
washbacks or
it
anything
doesn't
on what
really
was
say,
previously
actually.
there? We'll have to look
I mean,
into that.
even if they did, you can't.
It's going to be hard to
Replicate.
replicate, like,
No,
exactly.
it's like Dalmunac and Imperial or Rosebank and what they're doing
Yeah,
there or whatever,
especially
right?
there's lots of things to factor. The stills being fresh and new and clean.
Yeah.
What was it?
Equally, it's like they run that 24/7 nowadays, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
many things. so many
the
things.
tiredness of those stills versus them probably being run 8 hours a day or something back in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
They wouldn't have been run even half of the time, I doubt it.
But no, interesting. They do their own. Is it Fay Isle? Is that how you pronounce it?
Fagile.
Fagile. There we go.
For anyone who's listening who's not from Scotland, the Festival of Islay.
Yeah, they do their bottlings and they go down very well. Normally, people rave about them.
Almost all of the Fagile bottlings are
Yeah,
highly
very,
sought
very
after.
popular.
Highly sought after.
Yeah.
I've actually got somebody, a client of mine, who's currently looking for the Bamor Fagile 2024, the Mizunara.
Yeah.
So if anyone knows of one, let me know.
Oh, what have you put in here? Sorry, I was too busy in my book.
Yeah, I know. You weren't paying attention, mate.
You weren't.
This is the
We forged on
2022
that.
Distillers edition.
This is nice.
It is nice. It is nice. Yeah, no, it's lovely. And it is, I think it said it on the front, so maybe I'm just being led by branding and marketing, but it's crisp. It is very crisp is a word that I would absolutely use to describe this. It's
What
very
else we got?
crisp, it's very clean. We've had that kind of quite, I wouldn't say, quite a interesting, diverse dram is a way to say, I think, the first one. To then a somewhat muted expression
Yep.
to now what I would describe as quite a crisp, clean, distillate led.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No.
No.
Shut up, you fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
No
what
idea
would you
mean.
disagree on that then? Because I would agree. I think it is quite like
but I think that's just
clean cut.
bit of placebo. But no, yeah, it is clean. I would say Caol Ila as a whole, the smoke is quite organic and clean. You know,
Organic smoke.
Yeah, organic.
How'd you
smoke.
do that, mate? Just let your smoke run wild.
You just burn some, organic wood, mate.
Is
Well,
that
here we
it?
go. You heard it there.
There we go. Fair
And
enough.
buy that cheap wood that's soaked in whatever they soak it in.
I don't know. Fair enough. Okay. Learn something new every day.
Petrol station firewood. Crisp. I don't know. What I do get a lot, and this one again, same as the mock, is the fruit, the apples and the pears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grilled,
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's a nice level of smoke there as well.
Yeah.
But at the back end, a touch of astringency.
I think I
Just
get
a little
that,
bit,
but I
and
don't.
it's just quite crisp and kind of rounds off quite nicely for me.
I don't think I get the salt like other people do. I think it's the.
I wouldn't say that it's
sombre-
overly salty.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
Very subtle. It's more of a like a salt. Like I hate this because everyone says that for sort of thing for Caol Ila, but like a salted caramel. It's like a salted sweet. It's like a maybe even that's a like going down the fruit vibe.
Yeah.
What's a fruit? Let's think. What could you do? You char grill fruit and then you put a bit of like salt on it. What would you do that with? I'm trying to think.
I don't know. You could probably. No, that wouldn't work. But yeah, I was thinking. Like a curry.
We're going completely left field here, mate. But all right,
barbecue
run with
curry.
it. Run with it.
That's why I said no.
Go on. You think that this tastes like curry?
Okay, how about like no, I don't think it tastes like curry. I'm talking about you were saying fruit and salt, and I was thinking
Yeah.
what dishes would I make with fruit and salt? And
Oh,
curry, I would have-
see.
Oh,
Sorry, I see.
like
I see.
pressed mangoes in there, and there would be salt in there as well. But the curry flavors would just don't work.
Yeah.
You
You
so
can have like I suppose even salted mango maybe, but still,
Yeah, it's not that. Though.
don't know if it brings through.
no, that
we've
wouldn't
got.
work. No, it's not mango.
Something quite specific.
Yeah, maybe like a like a salted nut or something. I don't know. Like a sweet and savoury mix.
But it doesn't bring through as much
Yeah.
like,
Like a salted.
compared to the mock for
Oh
me.
no, I'm gonna say it.
Popcorn.
Oh, I was gonna say salted caramel nuts, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
more
yeah.
like a sweet and salted popcorn now. That you
Okay,
said that.
that's good. That's good. Yeah.
So the
yeah,
sweet
yeah,
and
yeah,
salt,
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm at. Sweet
Yeah.
and salted popcorn is a better vibe.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that this is nice. This is very this is a very good expression from the distillery, I think. Christ.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Sorry, apologies for my dog.
That's gonna.
Yeah, I think that's a very good expression from the distillery. I think that's a beautiful rendition of a cleaner Caol Ila versus a slightly dirtier Caol Ila. You know,
Yeah, I don't.
a slightly. This is the older sister.
Oh yeah, this is the teenage.
You know, she's
yeah.
quite well behaved. She knows how to
Rebellious.
hold herself. This is the stupid little boy who doesn't know how to fucking act like an adult, basically.
right, but
But you love both of them for different reasons.
has great fashion sense. I don't know.
Yeah, let's not go any
Yeah,
further
I
down
mean-
this path here. We're talking about whiskies. Let's just talk about them as whiskies, shall we? But anyway, yeah. But my point being, this is like the
No, but you were sort of saying this is silly and stupid. No, this is
It's
fucking
not silly and stupid.
great.
It's young and it's out there and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
doing
yeah,
its own
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
listening
yeah.
to you.
Complex and
Whereas
stuff
this
as well.
is like
It's
quite well behaved and
Maybe.
it's doing what it's supposed to do.
in line.
It's in line, exactly. It's it's wearing its uniform properly, it's doing its homework on time. This one's saying, I don't know.
All right.
Got into a great analogy.
Reel it
Yeah,
back
I'm all
in.
for
Yeah,
it.
I'm sorry. Never mind. Fucking I'll get carried away. But yeah, I think that's a really wonderful expression, the Distillers edition. My only question is, what's the crack with the Distillers edition? Is it supposed to be an annual release? If so, why have I not seen the 2024?
I thought it was, but I've got to admit, I've not seen
I don't think I've even seen a
Anything this
2023.
year? No.
Has this been finished in sherry?
No idea. It doesn't say.
What does it say at the bottom then? The red.
American oak, I think.
Oh, Muscatel.
It is.
Muscatel.
Okay. Yeah.
Muscatel seasoned American oak casks.
Seasoned. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't get like a Muscatel vibe.
No.
No.
Get kind of.
Well, sorry. I haven't thus far. If I now go looking for it, maybe I'll find it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, just
not
because
something
I was
that was
getting
apparent
more
to
of
me
like
straight away.
more of like a darker fruit than the kind of like apple and pears that I've got so far, you know. But
See, that's interesting.
darker
For
side on
me, you were talking about
Yeah.
fruit. You were talking about mango. I'm not there.
No
I was
mangoes,
thinking
no.
more like
No, I
a
wouldn't- no.
papaya type thing almost.
maybe
Like a
Yeah.
light, very soft, gentle,
yeah,
almost background. But that's where I was going with it fruit-wise. But yeah, I wouldn't have assumed Muscatel. Interesting to ponder it now, but I don't think so.
No age statement on this, no.
Again, no age statement.
No,
No.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. They're pretty confident, aren't they? They don't need age statements to sell or
No.
impress.
Yeah, no.
You know,
Although
persuade.
I'm going to have a little look as to what the crack is with this Distillers edition because
Why is it? Sorry, is it a certain year or?
this is the 2022
2022.
one.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
2021, 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022. Yeah, everyone has the 2022 in stock, which doesn't fill me with confidence.
Branding. Does everyone like the branding? Because this is a fairly well, not fairly new, but they have rebranded in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I think they have, yeah. I'm personally a big fan.
Well,
of
you
the
love it, don't you?
branding, yeah. I think, I suppose it's one of those, isn't it? Until you see a different kind of branding for it, would I change my mind? Maybe. But I do like the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there could be something there. I don't know what, but
No, I think it lends itself quite well to what I have sort of experienced at Caol Ila and the flavour. But yeah, no. Jay, do you like the branding? Obviously, it's a rebrand from probably 20. I can't remember when they rebranded now. But
Yeah, no, I do like the branding. You know what I do like as well is the darker bottles, which is something that I normally don't like.
right.
You know, the kind of green bottles
Yeah,
with
yeah.
whiskies normally kind of bother me. I think they suit Caol Ila perfectly. I don't know why. Can't explain that. It's just so, yeah. No, I really like the branding. I think it's cool.
Well, it's all very light coloured whiskey. I mean, very light sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that they've gone for the dark bottles to maybe hide that on first
I don't think
impressions.
this is natural colour necessarily. I don't think that's something that they focus on
but
anyway.
it must be.
I would equally have...
Dude, it definitely is.
I would have
natural
said so myself, but I don't think that this is something that they...
colour. Then
focus
again,
on.
normally if it doesn't say, then yeah, but yeah, that's interesting.
Let's do a little Google search.
That's
and see.
interesting. Did you pick anything up from the shop when you were there?
oh god, we're talking years ago now. I think I just went for the 12, to be honest. Years back, yeah. And I mean, back in this time, this was before I even started photography. So you looking at that £300 one was kind of how I looked at this. It was
sure.
pretty scary. But yeah, no, I mean, the cost alone to get over to Islay when I was that young was enough. But
How old were you?
oh god, I mean, we're talking 7 years ago. So
Oh, right.
probably 19, 20. Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Did you visit any other distilleries? Or?
Yeah, we did Bowmore, Lagavulin,
Yeah.
Brute Laddie, and
Yeah.
then Caol Ila.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. When in
Good
Rome.
journey around, yeah.
Nice. Nice. Are you enjoying this, Jake? I'm sensing that you're not. No?
I'm thinking about it, mate. I'm thinking about that
Yeah.
Muscatel. And
Yeah, does that spun you a little bit, is it?
no, I'm just trying to... I was honestly just trying to like find... I don't get that.
No.
I don't get it at all. I think it's really clean. I think it's really crisp. I think as it sits in the glass more, the spices become a little bit more developed.
Yes, they do.
And I think that's really nice because it adds a bit of a backbone to the dram as you sup and enjoy it. It's not as easygoing as first kind of on initial pour. But I'm confused by the Muscatel they must be very poor quality casks or a very short finish, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not getting any of that.
Muscatel, it's not sherry, but is it a fortified wine still?
Yes,
Yeah.
Muscatel
It's
is
sweet
like
wine. Yeah.
Fucking hell, God, you always test me.
Yeah,
on
no,
shit.
it is. I think it
I'm
is.
going to tell you
I just said
exactly how they
sweeter.
make it.
It's a fortified,
Yeah.
sweet wine. I'm pretty sure. I knew. I obviously didn't see the label until you read it, Jake. But I could tell.
Oh, it's just made from Muscat grapes. It's a specific grape.
Does it
I
say
thought it was a
white
specific
or red
process.
grapes?
I thought it was white.
Yeah, you might be right.
Muscat.
I got a little bit more of a sweeter fruit
I'd have said it's sweeter
than I
especially
did from
than
the
Moch.
other others we had to begin with. You know, it moved from like an apple or pear to more of like a I don't know, like a
The Muscat
strawberry
family
or
of grapes includes over 200 grape varieties.
oh god, fuck's sake.
But yeah, green grapes are the first thing that pops up.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I definitely sensed something in there for sure.
I didn't,
Yeah,
but good on you,
No,
mate.
yeah,
Fucking good
yeah.
nose, good palate, fair play.
I don't know about that, but
Yeah, no, I don't get that. What I do get, like I say, is that growing and a really wonderful balance of spices.
Right.
Very, very good quality liquid that. Really enjoy that. And again, to be honest with you, as I've enjoyed these 3 OBs, I'm kind of wondering what the 12 does for them.
yeah.
Like, because the 12 is where everyone's going to
yeah.
go.
If
I
go
put
12
these
over the
3 in front of you,
Correct.
and you know nothing, I can almost guarantee that 90+% of people go, "Oh, I'll try the 12."
If the,
Yeah,
Because
you'd
first
be
of
right,
all,
yeah, it's
what
the-
does that even say? If you don't know Scotch and Gaelic,
No,
you don't know how to
yeah,
pronounce
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Moch. What's a Moch?
yeah, Moch.
What the fuck does that mean? What is a
you-
Moch?
you wouldn't dive into it.
And what? Wait, it doesn't say anything on the bottle. I don't want that. And then what's this? Well, this is the Distillers edition, and it's Muscat. It sounds a little bit too maybe specific for me. This is a 12-year-old. I've
Yeah.
tried 12-year-old
Yeah,
whiskies
yeah.
before, and I like them. Right?
that could disappear from their range, and I wouldn't
Notice.
be bothered or notice.
Right? And that's what
Yeah,
I'm wondering
I'll
is,
be with you.
what does the 12 do for them?
What does the 12 do? That's a good question, mate. Yeah. What does it do?
I don't know. Anyone from Diageo you'd like to answer? Please let us know. What does the 12 do for you? Makes you a hell of a lot of money, I'd imagine. It's what
Well,
it does for them. Adds to the revenue stream. But I don't know. I'm a bit confused.
And I'm
by
only
it.
saying that because it's not awful. It's just the rest I have had so far is
Correct.
Yeah.
And I don't
It's
know.
giving me more.
If you've been able to go up the rungs in Caol Ila and try some older age statements,
Yeah, yeah.
18 plus, you know, it starts getting really fucking cool.
And like so the Moch's as good as it is as well. I feel like you could just dip that out. You
Right.
don't need it.
Again, it goes back to the conversation that we're having time and time again in these podcasts at the minute of why is everyone trying to play the same game?
Yeah, yeah.
Of filling in these gaps of, oh, well, everyone else has a 12-year-old, so we have to have a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, well, everyone else has an 18, so we have an 18. Well, look, if your 12-year-old works really well, then it's great, fine. But I personally think that the Moch and this Distillers edition are 2 really wonderful non-age statements, which is great for the distillery because they don't have to worry about going, oh, it has to be at least 12.
Yeah.
No, it just has to taste a certain way. All of a sudden, my job becomes so much easier as master blender,
yeah.
right? Brilliant. Sustainability of the product, fucking fantastic, great, you know? And also, you know, the cost of maturing, of all of a sudden, you know, if I can do whatever this is, 5, 7 years, I don't know, it doesn't matter. You know, it's less time, it's less money spent on getting the final product out for the same cost per product. sort of thing.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm confused by that. And again, it's not to say that the Caol Ila 12 is bad. I just don't understand it. Let's move on, though. How are we doing? We okay? We happy to move on to
Absolutely.
one? Next one?
Yeah.
We've got Gordon and MacPhail here. Now, look, guys, we actually tried this Gordon and MacPhail Caol Ila in a previous episode on Gordon and MacPhail. If you haven't seen it, the link will be in the description below. Please do have a gander. Obviously, as we've highlighted, loads of independent bottlers out there have their own renditions of Caol Ila, and it is a joy and a privilege to be able to do so. I speak so from experience. I mean, what a privilege to be able to work with such a great brand. Gordon and MacPhail are obviously one of the oldest independent bottlers in the industry, highly renowned, and this is from their Discovery series. They've got a few great series, one of them being the Distillery labels, which I don't know if they've actually ever had a Caol Ila underneath that one. I think they had for a while, but I don't know if they still have.
Oh, the Distillery labels. Which one's that? That's the...
So they had the 12-year-old Linkwood and the Mortlach. They had a Caol Ila, but I don't know if they still have a Caol Ila.
I haven't seen one for
Anyway, so I don't know if it's there. This is really, really great. This is actually a 13-year-old Caol Ila. I'd love to understand the thought process behind bottling it as a 13-year-old. It's bottled at 43% and is basically Gordon and MacPhail's way of allowing you to explore different whiskies. So what else did they have in this range? They had again, I think similar, like a Linkwood and maybe a Glenrothes or something like that.
Yeah, they had a few. I cannot remember.
They had a few, yeah.
But really well priced.
Very, very accessible from a price point of view. Equally from a flavour point of view. Don't want to ruin anything, but very, very accessible. I think the cool thing about this for Gordon and MacPhail is they've kind of, as they have been able to do because they've been in the industry for, hundreds of years, they buy the liquid, they put it in their own casks, and they've been planning this from probably, I would imagine, can't speak for them obviously, but I'd imagine from the day that this was distilled, it was put into, I would imagine, their own wood, and they have literally been maturing it for the full 13 years under management. They get to watch and wait patiently. So really, really cool for them. We've tried a bunch of other Caol Ilas on episodes as well, guys. We could have brought loads. We tried one from the Thompson Bros. Shout out Thompson Bros. We've tried one from Fragrant Drops. Shout out Fragrant Drops. Who else have we tried Caol Ilas from? Jesus, Stevie. We've tried a few.
I mean, who hasn't got a
I think we
IB
tried one
Caol Ila,
from
right?
Woodrose.
But,
Shout out Woodrose.
Yes, we did.
Right?
Yep.
Who else did we try? There's too many
Did
to
Seb
name, to be
bring
honest.
one?
Sorry?
Seb, did he bring one?
I don't know.
don't think he did.
Doesn't matter. Shout out Cut Your Wolf Loose.
I'm sure he got one.
He's probably got one, exactly.
What was I going to say? That was it. Their connoisseurs range, Gordon MacPhail, they have some incredible Caol Ilas,
Yes.
albeit, maybe £150 plus, but
Oh, wow.
I've seen them go around in groups and post, and they can out so well. They are up their price range a bit, and the age obviously is up there, but solid liquid, really, Caol Ila. Like as you say, have you had a bad Caol Ila? Can you get
It's
a bad?
almost
Caol Ila?
impossible.
If you have had a bad Caol Ila, drop it in the comments. Let us know who gave it to you. Let's name and shame. I don't think that there is one out there. I really don't. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
No, I'll be with you.
But yeah. It's really, really cool to see different people putting their different spins on things. I think it was actually Fragrant Drops, George Keeble, that did quite a young Palacatado
Right.
at Edinburgh that we tried.
Right.
It's fucking delicious, and that's the beauty of that. I think his was maybe 7 years old, and he put the age statement proudly on it. Good man himself. Brilliant. And then you've got, a 13-year-old completely opposite end of the spectrum, watered down to 43 and just bourbon matured great, and then like you say, you go up the rungs, some of these IBs are crazy things.
Yep.
But that's what you get when you have a distillery that's been around as long as Caol Ila,
Well,
and
yeah.
is as prominent as Caol Ila. And when you are lucky enough, Diageo, without Diageo, there wouldn't be independents like Gordon and MacPhail, like Fragrant Drops, like Cut Your Wolf Loose, like
That's
Thompson,
true.
like the Whiskey Baron. We wouldn't be here.
yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do what we do. So thank God that Diageo are open to allowing their access to their malts. It makes the world of difference. So I'm just watching these dogs attacking each other. Absolute Egypts. Can you wait? Trying to work here, boys.
They're like, this isn't work.
This is not work.
It's like they're
Pull
drinking
the
whiskey.
other one, mate. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, getting carried away and getting distracted. But yeah, what do we reckon thus far? What's our favourite? Do we have a favourite?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
I do.
Shall we save it to the end?
Oh.
Well, there's one more to go.
We can save it to the end. Yeah, look, there's only
There
one
is
more to
one
go.
more.
The reason
Yeah.
I ask now is because the last one
important one,
is
isn't it?
our
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And when I say our one, I don't just mean you and I, Stevie, as owners of the Whiskey Baron, but I also mean you, Ryan, because you were the owner of this wonderful cask before
Yeah.
we bottled it earlier today, sir. Woohoo!
Yes.
How does it feel to have bottled your own whiskey? You are technically an independent bottler of your own right now, right?
Cheers, yeah. It's surreal. Absolutely surreal.
Cool,
It's been a good day. I mean, my voice has gone from it, the cold all day, but yeah, it's been great.
Good man.
Really good.
Good man.
One experience.
Well, listen, we're here now. We can tuck in and enjoy. Like you say, we're not in the cold anymore. We've got some time to relax. Let's finish off with a dram of our Caol Ila. For everyone at home, this has literally just been bottled today at Whiskey Broker. Big shout out to Whiskey Broker. Gotta love Whiskey Broker.
Yeah.
Who, no doubt, have they themselves bottled a load of Caol Ilas as well. So check out Whiskey Broker. This is a 12-year-old. It was maturing in a butt. And we split that butt into some different hogsheads, and this hogshead was a Palo Cortado hogshead. Yeah. It has been residing in said hogshead for about 3 years, correct?
Yes, yep.
I think that's where we were at.
Thank you.
3 years, or maybe just shy thereof. And it has been bottled at a wonderful strength of 55.8. Is that what we landed with it?
I think we did in the end, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this not the one that you brought down a little bit? No.
Yeah, I thought it was higher than
No,
55.8.
I think-
We've done too much stuff today.
I don't think we brought this one
we
down.
did bring it down.
Oh, we did?
Was this the one that you
Yeah,
brought down to
okay.
58?
It's 55.8.
Oh, okay. No, I'm thinking of the other one then.
Yeah.
Because we brought one down from 59 to 58.
Yeah,
we did.
you're right,
We
yeah.
left it at 59.4.
That's right.
Really?
59.4,
Yeah.
Oh, well, you
yeah.
wanted to. Okay.
Sorry,
Anyway.
for everyone at home, this isn't interesting
I know,
at
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Pass me your glass, Stevie. Let me pour you a dram.
Inside joke.
Hold on, I need to ditch something, and then, I don't know what I've got. So that looks lovely, doesn't it?
So yeah, 3 years in a Palo Cortado hogshead, fresh. It's got a wonderful hue to it, I have to say. Hopefully, this won't be the first Caol Ila that you tried that doesn't taste good. No, I don't want to set myself a challenge to then flop.
Thank you, mate.
You're very welcome.
Congratulations, guys, by the way.
Yeah,
Ching,
absolutely.
cheers,
It's all of
cheers.
us.
Well done.
Well
Cheers,
Well done.
thank you.
Good man, Ryan. Thank you for working with us on it.
No, thank you for having me.
So yeah, a really, really cool day for all of us here. Another expression under the Whiskey Baron brand, which is great. And more importantly, essentially another member of the family, Ryan. Jesus, it's without people like yourself, we wouldn't have a business. It's wonderful to be able to work alongside people
No, I appreciate
so
it.
passionate as you, and we can get whiskey out onto the shelves in bottles, in glasses, as it's supposed to be. Whiskey is not an investment. It is a joy. It is a passion. It is to be shared and nothing else. So thank you for
100%.
allowing us and helping us to do so. I'm personally very proud of this expression. Again, as I said at the beginning, I think it's kind of like a rite of passage for independent bottlers to do a Caol Ila. This has been maturing under our management for the last 3 or so years. It would have been very easy to buy a cask direct from Diageo and bottle it straight away
Yeah.
and
At
put
12,
nothing
yeah.
into it. And that was it. Who cares? Fine, done. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something cool and interesting and special. A lot of people mature their Caol Ila in Palo Cortado and sherry, so I'm not suggesting that I've done something outlandish and crazy different, but I wanted to try and create, put my own little stamp on it. We've got, a bunch of other Caol Ila stock that's maturing still that wasn't quite ready for bottling. Ryan, obviously, we worked on a bottling project, and as you know, there were a few different casks that we could have picked from that we've been sampling over the last year and a half, and I think it was really good to have that flexibility as opposed to going, this is going to be bottled at 12 whether it's good or not, being able to really pick and choose. And I think we both agreed the Palo Cortado kind of shone through over the Oloroso, right?
Yeah, I think you're quite right. The last video we did where we were at the Whisky show and discussing them both, we were, I think, pretty close, like in terms of picking the side, but I completely agree. This has definitely been the right pick.
Because there was a moment in time where you were going to blend the two, right?
Well, there was options on the table always. Options on the table. Yeah. So these are hogsheads. We equally have butts. Palo Cortado butts, Oloroso butts. So was it the smaller cask we should be taking it from? Was it one of the larger butts that we should have been taking it from? Was it Oloroso? Should it be Palo Cortado? Should we do a secondary finish?
Yeah.
All different sorts of questions and yeah.
And there might be an obvious
Opportunities.
answer, Jake, but why did you want to put this in sherry for a few years?
As I've already kind of highlighted, I personally think that the sherry style really suits Caol Ila very well. There are a few other things that I would love to toy around with, You know, the idea of port with Caol Ila, both white, ruby, and tawny.
Do you see that often?
No, white port you don't see much.
Well, I know, in general, but with Caol Ila,
right, and this is exactly.
You know.
This is it. So trying to come up with different bits and pieces, and there is other stock that we hold of the Caol Ila that has been, as I say, maturing specifically in the butts, the Oloroso butt and the Palo Cortado butt, which is wonderful. But I'm kind of thinking maybe it's time to look at taking it out of that butt and into something else. And then all of a sudden, you've got a butt that's had a bit of, it's second fill sherry, but it's also got a touch of Caol Ila peat in there.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you can start, I mean, for example, we emptied this beautiful Palo Cortado hogshead today.
Yep.
It's been filled straight back up with a 10-year-old Glenglassaugh.
Yeah.
So that Glenglassaugh was 6 years in bourbon, and to be quite frankly honest, in a very refill bourbon cask. May as well be, a dead cask as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But 6 years in a dead cask, 4 years in a first fill Chateau Margaux, which is Bordeaux wine, obviously. And then now moving forward, it's going to be sat in this second fill Palo Cortado cask with that little peaty element of the Caol Ila.
Yeah.
I think it's going to
be a nice touch.
Give it a real different vibe.
An extra layer, yeah.
An extra layer indeed. So it's going to be in there for at least 2 years now. And I'm going to basically monitor it from here on out and see how it goes. So it's wonderful, again, being able to utilize the wood that we've had here and the impact that this Caol Ila has had on the wood.
Yeah.
It's rare that a whiskey will have, it's really only peated spirits that have impact on wood for the next whiskey.
Yeah.
We're always talking about rum matured or sherry or wine or cognac or whatever it may be. But when you've got a peated spirit in a cask for a bit of time and you have that impact, I think it's really, really quite cool and exciting.
Something very different, yeah.
That Caol Ila is forever going to have its stamp on that cask, Very, very cool, I think. Not every whiskey can say that. What do we think flavour-wise? I don't want to talk too much about the brand or the price or anything like that because it's up. But flavour. Let's talk about flavour.
Ryan, what do you think?
I think it holds through again, like the nice spiciness again. It's got a beautiful level of peat. The smoke is really coming through.
At this stage, I'm struggling to taste peat because it's probably all I can taste at the moment.
Yeah,
because we have been through
four
whiskies,
quite
but
a
it's
lot of peat and
definitely
whiskey.
there. What is there for me, and I said this earlier on in the warehouse, is the spice.
Yeah,
and I said I wasn't knocking it. It was just really prevalent,
Yeah.
And it's such a key component, I think, of Caol Ila, that spice in there. I think there's elements of the wood that are obviously part of that, obviously. But it's nice. It really packs a punch. It really turns
it does well.
All what we've just had up a few more notches. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously having the sherry component in there adds a wonderful layer of just different fruits in there for me.
Yeah.
Almost becomes a completely different dram, but obviously that first layer is Caol Ila. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about you, Jake?
Very proud. A proud parent,
Proud.
No, I'm honoured.
Oh, good.
Mate, honestly, honoured. It's, I can't take huge amounts of responsibility for this. I had an educated guess based on what other people have done before me, and it's worked out exactly as I could have hoped. I think it's a beautiful expression. It's 55.8%. I think that the sherry really allows to kind of round off those sharper edges, which is why we didn't have to water it down a huge amount. That for me is like a big component as to why I think sherry works so well. I'd love to now, as I say, toy around with port and see how that works and see if it does the same thing. And, equally, I think it would be cool to mess around with some virgin oak casks in Caol Ila. I think there's a lot that you can do with Caol Ila. It's a very robust, diverse spirit that I think would take on most maturation styles. And this is, again, I go back to show me about Caol Ila. Show me one. And I will show you a fool who doesn't know Caol Ila. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't know how to drink a good whiskey. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that it's out there. I think that Caol Ila is such a robust and diverse spirit that it will always work. It'll always at least taste decent. It might not be the best dram you've ever tried. I'm sure you've tried better Caol Ilas. There's always a better Caol Ila out there. And keep hunting for the next best one, guys. Absolutely. But
it's that higher alcohol as well that just takes it that next level for me, I think. I've loved the ranges we've tried, but bringing it up, just like you say, allows it to open itself up so much more.
Definitely, and even with the IBs, there are some that are at cask strength and higher, ABVs. But really, a lot of them play it, I say safe, but they do bring them down quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's good to have something that can show off, as you say, that higher ABV.
Yeah, 100%.
We're moving to hypothetically.
Hypothetically, what?
He's worried now.
Yeah, I am worried.
Oh, you've done it now.
Hypothetically, your tasting notes on this dram.
Oh no, I've not been well recently, mate. I need to sit down for a minute. One what?
Just one little maybe.
Yummy.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Can we just call it that?
Yeah, just tasting
Yummy,
notes.
yeah.
Yummy.
Sure.
The yummy.
The yum.
All right, fair enough. I won't put you on the spot. I knew that'd be putting you on the spot a little bit.
You know me.
But-
Yeah, I
No, I know,
I take
listen,
time
listen.
over my tasting notes. I like to.
Yeah, no. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's
No,
fair.
yeah,
That's fair.
I think it's there's a lot to unpack there, is what I would be able to say. I think there's, as with a lot of Caol Ila, I think that this probably goes down a bit more of the Moch vibe of being quite robust and quite a lot going on. It's not like a clean cut simplistic version.
No.
I think that the sherry definitely
agree,
adds
yeah.
a lot of body to it.
Yes.
And I think that this is the sort of thing that whether you want to drink it neat or mix up a badass cocktail, it's going to really work and shine through.
For sure.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
fair.
All right then. All right.
Cool. Well, let's have a little bit of a round up. Obviously, we're not going to finish off with R1, but we can talk about when it might be launching and what sort of price it might be at, and kind of tease it a little bit, I suppose, for everyone at home. I have to say, I have had non-stop messages from people at Whisky Live, who obviously you and I went around.
Yeah.
And shared this out.
Fantastic.
I also bought a bottle along of the Palicatado because we,
Yes.
by that point, had decided to bottle the Palicatado. I bought along a bottle of that to the Whisky Show and
Perfect.
sharing people of the Whisky Show. And I've had messages, probably about 6 or 7 messages from people from both of those shows. So great to meet you. Da 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 da. When's that Caol Ila being released?
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way, mate?
Oh,
Can I
that's
get on a
fantastic.
list or something? And that's the thing. Again, like I say,
yeah.
you bottle a Caol Ila, it's not hard to sell it. Everyone loves Caol Ila. It's
Yeah.
great.
It's a
you
great open spirit to everyone. It's
Yeah.
really good, yeah.
Definitely.
It's amazing.
All right, well, let's start all the way back where we started and go to the Moch. The Moch is arguably the entry level. I know where
Put the word out of my mouth.
so it's arguably the entry level. Currently, sort of 55 to 65 pounds per bottle. My understanding was that it was RRP'd at 65. I was lucky enough to pick this up at 40 pounds from Master of Malt, and it's currently
Fuck
on
me.
Master of Malt
That's
for 40
That's
pounds.
amazing.
That is a good saving.
Yeah.
So it's 40 to 65. I don't know where to price this. Is the problem?
No, well, going from our last episode, mate, you forced me to rate something on a retail price.
Yeah,
So let's start there.
at the retail price.
So,
I think the retail price is
£60?
£65.
Yeah, it's so.
I'm confused, mate. Like I say, I feel like the pricing has changed. So I feel like we may be doing them dirty a little bit here.
What do you mean? You think you're rating it too
Well, I'm
high?
just saying, right now, it's not just Master of Malt that I can find it for 40 quid on. I got a deal there, fine. But it's also
No,
on Amazon for 40 quid.
No, it's 40 quid. 40 quid.
45 at Spirits Embassy.
The one-
62 at Whiskey Exchange.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, that's where it's up there at.
Yeah, but it's been up there on a load of other sites previously, dude, as well. And if
Okay.
you go still, Royal Mile, 55.76 down from 62. Royal Mile, oh no, that's the Distillers edition.
All right, let's meet in
sorry.
the middle then, because there is a
£50?
lot.
Let's say £50.
Yeah,
You can definitely
Yeah,
find it for
fair
£50.
shout.
All right, the Moch, £50, Stevie.
I know I just shout oosh, and I still stick with my oosh, but I want to just quickly tell you why. If I hadn't have the 12 again with this, I don't know, I wouldn't know what I've thought. The fact that I've had the 12, I don't know how much the 12 is, and the limited Distillers edition, the Moch has so much to it for me. There's so much in there that I could sit with. Easily I could just sit that, drink it, and not think about anything.
Yeah.
It's a daily sipper as well. And that's why it's an oosh, 50 quid, I think, in this day and age. It's reasonable price, and the fact that this doesn't have an age statement on, it's not everything. So, and I think some people will be like, oh, well, no statement, 50 quid, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That is a fucking...
Good for them, yeah.
that is
No.
a
If you're
good-
thinking that, you're right. Don't bother.
That is a good bottle of whiskey.
Okay.
It really is.
We'll give it something. Go on.
I did.
Yeah, but give it a proper one.
Oosh.
There it is.
There you
An
go.
oosh. Getting us kicked off with a big fat oosh from Stevie. That's what we like to see here at
lad.
Uncut.
Yeah.
Ryan, heading over to you, sir. The Moch for £50.
I can't oosh as well, but I feel like I need to. Like, there's just so many layers to it that I feel like the longer and longer you sit with it, especially for the price, you're talking £50. Like,
Yeah, but some people, mate, that's half their maximum budget.
but what I mean
ever.
is like
know?
for an entry level bottle now, that is pretty
No,
good.
I agree.
Yeah. I would take it there, and yeah. It's a win for me.
So
Yeah,
what
I'd
is
buy
it?
it?
What?
A buy.
It's a strong buy or is it an oosh?
It's a strong buy. Oh, well, if we're going oosh, I would oosh that shit.
Okay, there we go. It's an oosh from Ryan. Lovely
Oosh it up,
stuff.
baby.
For me, it's an absolute no-brainer. I'm not going to have to caveat it or explain it or any of that. Caol Ila Moch, £50. Oosh! Yeah, baby.
Easy winner, baby.
Love it.
Easy
I
winner.
love that shit.
Triple oosh.
I've been waiting for
house.
the
Goddamn.
Caol Ila, and the Moch is the one that I've been waiting for, man. I knew that this was going to slap so
Well,
hard.
actually, funny enough as
Great.
well, I'll caveat that because when we've been talking about it in this episode, and we have nearly done it quite a few times
Yeah,
in the last
Aye.
year,
Aye.
you've said the fucking Moch has to be there.
Yeah,
That's what you said.
always.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it without the Moch. Yeah,
get it.
I've
That's good.
said that.
I
It's
get
good.
it. I get it.
Yeah, good. I'm glad everyone's on board. If you haven't tried the Moch, get that Moch.
Yeah.
Caol Ila 12, and sorry, I've forgotten now where we're at price point wise. I got carried away with the Moch. Hold on, people. Just fucking screaming and shouting and not focusing on what I'm supposed to be doing here. Caol Ila 12-year-old, £44, £49. £49.95, £49.95, 55. Looks like it's a £50 RRP. But again, Spirits Embassy, £37.50. I feel like Caol Ila has been repriced recently.
Right, okay. They're probably old.
It looks
purchase
like
prices.
£50 is the standard across the board,
Yeah,
but there
okay.
are cheaper ways of getting it. So let's
Talking 50
also
again.
stay £50. We stay at £50 here. Let's go £50 here at the 12. Stevie,
Well, I'm confused.
Caol Ila 12,
I'm
£50, right?
Yeah, I'm confused. I mean, it's just like it's the same price as the Moch, but it's probably 6 years older.
Yeah. Don't mock me. What are we doing here, right?
Da-da-da-ta. So, and age isn't everything, but also price is, and especially when you can compare it.
Yeah.
You know, a £50
And when
against
it's
a
literally
£50 bottle.
it's that versus
So-
that. It's one or the other.
Correct.
How are you spending your £50?
I'm sorry, 12. Oh, no, I wasn't going to do that. It's a don't buy.
Yeah, it's not fair to put it in the bin.
Yeah,
That's not fair. That's not
I was
fair.
joking. No, it's don't buy.
Fair. All right, I don't buy.
Well, me and my mate, we're not a fan. I've got to be honest.
No.
£50, I'd bet the Moch. I really would.
Eh.
Like the 12 is good, but I don't know. I just feel like for the same price, age statement or not, you're just not getting what you get out of the Moch.
Yeah.
Blind taste. Would you pay £50 for this or £50 for that?
You'd go the Moch every time.
You definitely would.
I mean,
You-
personally,
you would
like-
notice. You would
Yeah.
so noticed.
It wouldn't even be difficult.
No.
No.
I don't think you'd even have to taste it. I think you smell it and you go, yep.
And that's what I mean. Age
that one.
statement aside, marketing, all that shit aside, you'd pick the Moch every time.
Aye.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
It's fascinating, right? Fascinating. So, sorry, Ryan.
I won't buy.
It's a don't buy.
No, it won't be a buy.
It's a don't buy from Stevie. It's a don't buy from Ryan. And for exactly the same reasons that we've just highlighted, it's a don't buy from me. Listen, guys, this is a great whiskey. And if this is one of your favorites, please drop it in the comments. Let us know what it is that we're missing. All right? Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And just because we're not the biggest fans of the 12 doesn't mean that you can't be. I think we all agree that it's a good whiskey, but at £50, we're not getting anywhere near as much flavour from the Moch, nowhere near as much of the clean crispness as the Distillers edition. What are we doing here, Caol Ila? Let's make things a little bit easier for us all. Is a don't buy across the board on the 12. A shame, given that we started with such a strong oosh
Yeah.
across the board on the
Yeah,
12.
we knew it was coming.
To go to a don't buy.
We did.
C'est la vie. Let's move on to the Distillers edition. This is the 2022 Distillers edition. As I've highlighted, I'm a little bit confused because it doesn't look as though there has
50
been
quid.
a Distillers edition since 2022.
55 quid, 50 quid.
For the Distillers.
Yeah, so the Distillers is anywhere from 55 to 65, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Let's call it £55.
Cool. £55 on
This
the
is difficult
Distillers.
because I don't know
edition.
what did we say. What do we rate it? Different time, different place. Pass.
Pass isn't a fucking rating.
Pass. Right. What do you think?
Oh, you're passing to me
No, he's not
first.
passing to you. Buy, don't buy.
It's
Surely if you pass
don't
in,
buy.
that's your answer.
Don't buy.
It's don't buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
55 quid.
How much? 55? I think I'd buy, to be honest. I wasn't as blown away as the Moch, I'll be honest, but I still think it takes it that level above the 12.
Yep.
So for me, it'd be a buy. Yeah.
Cool. No, I agree with that. So this is my shtick. I would buy this having tried it. I like it. I would not have bought it off the bat blind on the basis that this is the 2022 Distillers edition and we're now in 2024. The fact that everyone is still selling the 2022 Distillers edition.
Sorry. Oh, are we on the Gordon MacPhail?
We're on this one, dude.
Okay. So, yeah, I roll back.
I was a bit confused.
Just 'cause
Yeah,
the order.
I was.
No. We drank it in this one.
Your dog.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, dude. Exactly. Let's just crack through so that we can get out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I know. I'm
right.
sorry.
That's sorry, it's because of the order.
I know. No.
Yeah, okay.
Distillers edition.
Sorry.
£55.
Yeah, that's a fucking buy.
I was a bit confused. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So it is a buy. Good. All right. It's all right, everyone.
work,
Stevie's
Stevie.
back.
Back in the room.
Cool. All right. So it's a buy from Stevie. It's a buy from yourself.
Buy from me.
It is a buy from me as well. Sorry, just going back to my point before I was really rudely interrupted by this pirate over here.
It's me that lays down on him. Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah, you know.
The only thing that puts me off this, buying it blind, is the fact that it's a 2022 edition. What is happening here? Why does everyone still have stock of the 2022 edition? It does not fill me with confidence. So buying it blind, I would say no. Where's the 2024? I'll try that, thank you very much. Now that I've tried it, very well worth the money. I like it. I'm still confused as to where 2023 and 2024
that's
are,
fair.
right? So that's the only caveat that I put in there. I think when it comes to just liquid being tasty and value for money, it hits the nail on the head. It's a buy.
So this is stock everywhere still.
Everywhere from 2022.
For 55 quid.
Which is so
But that
weird.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I don't. Yeah, that's fine. I understand.
Consider-
that.
No,
I know that doesn't.
You
make
say,
sense.
oh, it's fine. It's like, if this doesn't make any sense and we're questioning an element of this as well, I'm just like, it seems
There's
as though there is a bit
something
of
there.
confusion. These are the only three core ranges that we have. Like, once you start going
I
up,
wouldn't class that's a core range, though, would you?
that is a core. Well, it's a, okay, sorry, maybe not a core range. An OB is what I meant. You know,
Okay.
I just,
Yeah.
I think from an OB point of view, there seems to be a bit of confusion in there. I don't really understand. But whatever.
Confusion or not, it's great and it's
a great-
and it's worth the money.
It's great juice
worth-
and it's great
it's worth the
value.
money.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so, yes.
Yeah.
You are
Cool.
right. There's,
I was confused.
Oosh, don't buy, buys across the board. So there we go. We're simple, we're easy, we're in, we're out. Gordon and
do you know how
MacPhail,
much this is?
Discovery, I think it was 45.
Is it?
Maybe double check that for me. Gordon and MacPhail, this is the 13-year-old from the Discovery series, 13 years old at 43%.
Maybe when you bought it, it's
Really?
anywhere from 48 to 58. So
Okay.
still.
All right,
Yeah.
well, let's call it £50 because you can definitely get these on sale.
I think if you're new to whiskey and you're looking to spend 50 quid, I'd take a punt on that and have it, drink it, enjoy it, learn with it, right? Because again, it's a great stripped back version of Caol Ila, you know, and given that it's a year older, obviously, than the 12, but it's the same price point. And it's smaller batch. It's small batch, isn't it? These ones or
I
not?
think they do batch them out, yeah, and it will be smaller batch than what the Distillery puts out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that small, though.
I'd say buy it. Me personally, now I've had it, I probably...
Don't need another bottle.
No, I don't need another bottle. So it would be a don't buy on that basis.
Cool.
Yeah. I like it. I think anyone, like you say, looking to get involved in maybe something that's away from the original bottlings and stuff, looking to like try something different. I think is this. So it's still the same percentage, but I do like the notes it brings out. You know, it's a little bit fresher for me. You know, it brings out the apple side and stuff, and I quite like that, to be honest. So I would buy Yeah, for the price, I think that's
Good for you, mate. Yeah. Well, you're a Caol Ila fan, so why not have it in the collection?
I am with you. I think in terms of what we have had, would I buy it
repeatedly?
I'd buy it as like probably a one-off to have on the shelf for
people who come over and want to start.
And you want to experience Caol Ila, it's a really good
show.
Opening bottle.
I like that.
I'd be hunting for those distiller editions the other years, I'd start comparing those, why they do that, and if they do these sort of, finishes. So, yeah.
No. Well, I haven't given my rating on this yet, so hold on a minute.
What's wrong with him?
It's this haunted room.
I kind of agree with you on what you said here from the fresh. I kind of got more like vanillas and like softer notes here.
Yeah.
So, and again, this is the Discovery series. What I think they're doing very well is making Caol Ila very accessible. Right.
Yes.
So, like you say, it is still that 43%, but it's not this dirtiness.
No.
It's equally not as crisp and kind of like we were saying. This is kind of. Wait, were we saying this is singular? No, we were saying this is singular. But this is kind of like along a certain track.
Yeah.
Whereas this
straight and narrow.
This is kind of a bit more easygoing, I would say. Sorry, maybe that's not the best way to describe it. But anyway, circling back.
No, I think it is. I think it definitely is.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
Oh,
it is.
It's okay. I got it. Very nice.
This guy.
Yeah, no, I think it's great, and I kind of agree with what you have both echoed. I have one. I don't need another one. But exactly what you said, Ryan. It's on the shelf. Why is it on the shelf? To share with people who don't know Caol Ila, or who don't know peated whiskey, or who don't know whiskey at all, and want to start somewhere and get in. And so if you've got this Discovery range from Gordon and MacPhail, and you've got a Blinkwood and a Glenrothes and a Caol Ila and a and all of a sudden you've hit up all these different flavour profiles without scaring anybody off.
Yes.
Because if you put that in front of somebody who's new to whiskey, they might love it, but you might turn them away from whiskey forever, which we obviously don't want to do. So, so for that reason, it is, just sneaking into a buy. I have already bought it. I don't need another one.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. Finally, guys, we ended up with the Whiskey Baron, just bottled today in collaboration with Ryan Worthington. Thank you again so much for working with us on this project, dude. It's fucking awesome. It's great that you've been here with us today. Got to witness the bottling, be a part of it. I mean, the man even pulled the bung out of the cask. It was fucking awesome. Loads of really cool content on the way to you. This will be launched next year. It will probably be launched for somewhere in the region of £90, give or take. I don't want to sort of promise you anything. We're not going to give this one a rating of buy or don't buy. What I will say is please go out there and explore independent bottlers and Caol Ilas from independent bottlers. You are spoiled for choice. We've mentioned a bunch already in this episode. Let's recap them. We had Thompson Bros, we had Fragrant Drops, we had Cut Your Wolf Loose, we've had Gordon and MacPhail, we've had Woodrow's, we've had Cadenheads. We've had loads. There are so many distillery independent bottlers out there that get hold of this distillate from this amazing distillery, and I can only recommend that you try them. We are very, very privileged to have been able to bottle this cask today. I cannot wait to bring it to you guys. But here at Uncut, obviously, we're just talking about liquids as a whole. We're not trying to sell you anything. So hopefully you have enjoyed this Caol Ila episode. Please do drop in the comments what your favorite of the lineup is. If you've tried any of them, if you've tried all of them, you haven't because you haven't tried this. It was only bottled today. But let us know what we've missed. Let us know what you'd like to see on the next Caol Ila episode. Yes, that's right. There absolutely will be another Caol Ila episode. Before we go, I do feel compelled to just mention Glencairn because, my God, we get carried away with these wonderful whiskies. We forget about our beautiful glassware. Where would we without a wonderful Glencairn? One of the originals, or my very favorite, the Copita. Look, guys, we say this all the time. Every episode, we are sponsored by Glencairn. We're not getting paid by them. We have beautiful glassware that was gifted to us very generously. Thank you so much. But you can use code UNCUT20 to get 20% off yourself. It's only available until what? Midway through next year. You haven't got long, guys. Get buying your Christmas presents right now. Don't even wait. Right now. Uncut 20. You can buy your mum a beautiful vase. You can buy your dad some whiskey glasses. And you can buy yourself a whole array of glassware for your kitchen. That's what I've got. I actually smashed 3 wine glasses recently.
Oh, dear.
Painful.
Oh, God.
But I've got 20% off, so it doesn't matter.
Uncut 20.
Uncut 20.
Uncut 20, baby.
Listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us for Uncut and Unfiltered. Hopefully you have enjoyed Caol Ila with myself, the Drowned Pirate, and Ryan Worthington.
Please do
check us all out on Instagram, specifically Ryan, because he's got a fucking awesome page.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
We will see you next time. Sláinte bheith.